Hey guys, I'm Parker. Some of you know me as Fuller from Custom Offsets TV on YouTube. Today we're going to go over a couple of things that I've built and bought over the years.
I'm in it just to rewrite history, cause I'm in the mood to label us the leaders of the new school. This ain't for the radio, can't find this on YouTube. This the type of killing that these critics ain't used to. Victorious, victorious. In this day and age, I got time for innovation, time to be creative.
Dig this.
So I've always had a passion for customizing cars and driving cars or motorcycles or trucks or whatever it would be ever since, basically since I got my license, and even before that. I can remember before I could drive, I would even back my mom's BMW out of the garage just to rev it up to hear the exhaust. And I guess I've been an enthusiast basically all my life. So I started out with really crappy $1,000 cars, just like every 16-year-old kid. But even then I was putting LED lights in the footwells and just all those cheap AutoZone mods that everybody likes to make fun of now when they bring them to the Walmart meets. So from there, I kept getting nicer and nicer vehicles and doing more mods to them. I think the first nice car I ever bought was a Mazda RX-8. I had some BBS wheels on there. And everything that I buy, I drive it hard, and I drive it like it's meant to be driven. I'm not one to buy a car and store it. I also go through cars so often that I'm always looking for the next thing to build or the next thing to buy, or just whatever's fun for me to have, just to really beat on and get the most out of it. So the first car I ever put motor work into was a 2005 Dodge Neon SRT4 ACR. And when I bought that car, I wasn't even looking to get into an SRT. I was sick and tired of driving my Crown Vic winter beater, and I just happened to see it sitting on a dealer lot and ended up picking it up that night. Right away, I wanted to start customizing it, so I read on the forums and online about what I could do to it. And to dive right into it, I ended up buying a bigger turbo from AGP and putting that on there to make some more power. And I couldn't get enough of the boost. I was always driving in boost simply because I liked the noise, and it was just a blast to drive. The Neon gets a lot of hate from a lot of different people because it's a Neon and it has crank windows and it's a lame car. But it was fun for me just to play around with, and I had never really experimented with writing tunes or changing injectors or getting colder spark plugs. So that car gave me the opportunity to really try some of my own work on it. I ended up writing a tune when I first put the bigger turbo on that just dumped way too much fuel in it. And just driving down the road, it smelled horrible, but it shot flames all the time, so that was kind of neat. So the Neon was fun to have for a while, and it was a blast to drive. But I always have this where I end up building it how I want it, and then I'm already ready to move on to the next project. And it's not that I'm bored with it, I just constantly like making new things and challenging myself. I like to be able to tinker on things and just work on it to make it how I want. So once I had the Neon up to basically what I could do with it, I ended up getting rid of that, and that's led me into some of the things I have currently and some of the other projects I work on. I know you guys are used to seeing big trucks and everything on this page, but I've also built motorcycles. And when I say built motorcycles, I really mean that. built a 1979 Kawasaki KZ650, and when I bought it, it came in a big blue Rubbermaid. There was a frame and a motor, and basically the rest of the parts were either missing or just not attached and came in other separate boxes. So that was stripped right down to the frame. I ended up hardtailing it, extended the bike, lowered it. It had custom exhaust work, a custom one-off seat using a fully adjustable coilover off one of those power wheelchairs to suspend the seat in the air. So I hadn't seen any other bike done like that. And I really wanted a rough looking, rat rod looking bike. And a lot of people kind of gave me some crap for it because they thought it was the cheap way out or it didn't look good because it wasn't painted. But I really liked that rough look. So I sanded down the gas tank and the fenders and let it rust on purpose and then put clear over it. And it was exactly what I wanted. But again, it was the same thing. When I was finished, I ended up selling that bike and making a profit on it, which was cool, but I was ready to move on to the next thing. So I'm always constantly looking for the next toy or the next adventure to see what else I can get my hands on. So now, today, I own 4 different vehicles. And at 22 years old, I'm pretty grateful to be able to do that. I've had, I think, 15 or 16 vehicles so far in my life. So it's just awesome to be able to buy, sell, trade, upgrade, you know, be in the world of bikes, trucks, cars, all at different times. So I ended up buying a 1999 Ford Ranger simply because I heard Sean saying he was going to start firing people that didn't own trucks at the shop. So I went on Craigslist, found myself the cheapest 4-wheel drive pickup I could get, and that ended up being the 1999 Ranger. So this thing is what I call the no f***s given Danger Ranger. So I bought that, and I would say within probably a week, I ordered wheels and tires for it. So it's a 15x8 Vision Soft 8, which is that classic bullet hole style. And then the tires I went with were a Federal Coraja MT 31 by 10.5. So it has a nice bulge on the side to protect the rim from getting all dinged up, even though honestly on that truck, I don't even care. I bought the truck for just a few $100s, and the wheel and tire setup cost more than the entire truck did. So that truck literally is made to jump ditches, crash into things, and just not care about. But I love building things that I can do that with. Without having that sense of caring for it, it's just fun to drive it to the limit. That's where sometimes slow cars or slower trucks can be fun than owning the fastest race car. Because if you can drive something right to its limit and it scares the hell out of you, you're gonna have way more fun than being able to go half throttle in a car that's super fast. So my favorite mod on the Ranger is my lightweight door, super custom. When I bought it, the previous owner got T-boned, so the door was all smashed in. So I went to Gibson's down in Neenah, Wisconsin, and picked up a door off a Mazda B3200, I believe they are. And it bolts right up to the Ranger. So I was lucky and found one that was the same color. But I wasn't willing to carry out a super heavy power window door from the junkyard. So I got a crank window door. And so now my XLT Ranger that has power everything on the driver's side has a crank window, but it still has the switches for the power windows, which still work on the passenger side. So the suspension on the Ranger is stock, and I believe it's probably the original from 1999 because it rides like crap. I brought it into the garage one night, and Banker and I just cranked up the torsion keys to fit on those 31s. And just by removing the front valence, we were able to clear those with no trimming. And when I say remove the front valence, I don't mean taking out the screws. We just kind of grabbed on and ripped it off. Banker also got a little creative with some vinyl, unknown to me. He went and blacked out all my Ford emblems and then replaced them with the Monster sticker because, you know, pre-runner. As far as other mods go, I did put both Fox and BDS stickers on the back window. 5 horsepower each, at least. So even on my daily driver, I currently have a 2008 BMW X3, and it came with crappy looking 17-inch wheels. that was the same kind of thing. I picked that vehicle up, and 1 or 2 weeks later, I was already looking for wheels and tires on it. I don't know many people that daily drive an SUV that has staggered 19 by 10s in the rear and 19 by 8.5s up front. It's a pretty aggressive setup for what people call a mom car that I drive, but it gets me where I need to go. It gets halfway decent gas mileage and it hauls all my stuff. So the BMW also I bought to haul my street legal dirt bike. It's a 2013 CRF 250L. And when I bought that, again, I got a whole lot of crap for it because I bought a 250 and people are like, why did you want a 250? But then they get mad when they can't keep up with me on the dirt riding through Nicolet National Forest up north where we go riding a lot. That bike I bought with dings and scratches and it was beat up big time. But it's the same concept as the Ranger. I'm not afraid to crash it. In fact, I've owned it now for maybe 4 or 5 months. I've probably laid it down 6 times. But it doesn't matter because I bought that bike with the intention of driving it hard and just using it all year round. I drive it to work in the middle of a snowstorm and just watch the people in cars next to me take Snapchats or laugh, and it's really a blast. So I'm always looking for what can give me that adrenaline rush. Which leads me into the toy sitting behind me. It makes me so excited just to talk about this car because it's just so much that I love about it. I don't even know where to start. This, most people won't even know what it is by looking at it. This is a 2008 Pontiac Solstice. I never thought I would own a Pontiac Solstice or a Saturn Sky or any other comparable models to this. This car I bought just the way it sits right now. I didn't build anything on it. I got it from a friend at a halfway decent price who was looking to sell it, and I thought, yeah, I'd love to own that. But just like how I can appreciate other people's builds that they bought the way they are, or they just might have changed some small stuff on it, I hope that everybody else can appreciate this build. Even though it's not mine, somebody put a lot of time, money, and dedication into it to turn it into what it is today. So to the best of my knowledge, this is the world's only wide-body Solstice, and there is a ton done to it. To get the car sitting the way that it is now, it's on KW coilovers, front and rear, and it's set up for drifting currently. With this coilover setup, the suspension's all tuned for drifting. To go along with that, it's a 5-speed, and it also has a hydraulic handbrake that works just on the rears. That's an inline handbrake, so it just instantly locks up the rear tires. For wheels and tires, these are Cosmos XT006R wheels. They're super lightweight, and they're a black and machined finish, which looks super cool on this car. It's a +10 offset, which is fairly aggressive, and we took it to the next level because it's also running 1-inch spacers, and they are an adapter actually. They go from the stock 5x110 to the now 5x114.3, simply because they don't make a lot of wheels in 5x110. So that allows me to run just about every manufacturer makes a wheel that fits 5x114.3. Tires up front are a 255 Michelin Pilot Sport, and out back, since it's set up for drifting, they're 225s of whatever cheap brand I can buy because I'm just gonna do burnouts and slide it around corners. As far as other exterior stuff, the rear bumper has been cut and then replaced with steel tube. So the top part of the bumper is still there, but then there's steel tube underneath it, and that's designed so that if you smash it into a corner, you can actually replace just one half, which is really unique. You know, most full cage rears, if you smash it, you're gonna have to replace the whole thing. So That's a cost-effective way if I ever crash this car to replace just one of the back corners. Then it also has a jack point in the rear, so with your standard jack, it fits under really easily. You can lift the whole back end of the car up and switch tires out at an event. So as far as the interior goes in this car, there is none. The entire car has been gutted. There's no carpet, there's no door panels. It's fully caged. The dash has been removed and replaced with a fiberglass dash that's carpeted. And then it's the stock gauge cluster. There's no radio, no AC, no heat, no defrost, which made for a very interesting drive back the night that I bought it because it was raining and like 34 degrees. I couldn't see anything and almost ended up going head on with the car, but we made it back. It's all fine and dandy. The steering wheel is on a quick release. That was custom made because they don't make a quick release for a Solstice because nobody does this to a Solstice. The shift knob has been replaced and it's actually welded on because the stock one on the Solstice is just a clip that goes in there. And if you buy the replacement clip-on ones, when you're driving this thing as hard as I do and as hard as the previous owner did, you'll just rip that right off. For seats, it's got Recaro pole position seats, which are actually relatively comfortable for race seats. I'm super impressed by that. And then obviously I have the harnesses to go along with that. It's basically a track car that I shouldn't be driving on the street, but the DMV let me register it, so here it is. Performance-wise, the car makes 319 wheel horsepower on 93 octane with a dyno tune, and then 385 foot-pounds of torque, so it's a blast to drive. One of the other cars I have is a 1972 Volkswagen Beetle. It's all decaled up like Herbie. I bought that basically not running, was able to get it running, and just turned a profit on it and just recently sold that. So I hope you don't take any of this too seriously, but I hope you can also appreciate that not everybody has the time and the resources to build all their stuff on their own, but they can definitely throw some wheels and tires on it and have their buddy crank up the keys and enjoy it just as much as a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 giant custom SEMA build that is absolutely huge and amazing. Just like we all love those builds, I love being able to take a truck, throw a little bit of money into it, and just get the most out of it and really enjoy it. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about a couple of the vehicles that I've owned, as well as some of the experiences that I've had with them. And if you're an automotive enthusiast, I hope you share this video with your friends so that they can all understand the passion that we all have behind the entire automotive industry. Thanks. Simply the plates didn't match the car because in England we have the longer number plates, and I kept getting pulled over by the police and they were telling me that I have to switch my number plates. So I had that E46 M3 that I imported, and that was my first car that I brought to the States.